The Keystone XL pipeline is an issue ripe with potential catastrophe, calamity for America. And I'm not just talking about the fact that, it could lead to massive oil spills across most of America. Let's forget about that for now. At least the sort of silver lining to the creation of the Keystone XL pipeline was supposed to be that since we'll be drilling for more oil in Canada and we'll be transporting it off across America, there will be more oil. Drill, baby, drill, right? Unfortunately, no. It turns out that in addition to not increasing America's oil supply, that should be a warning sign about whether or not we should support this, it instead could also raise gasoline prices. So this is coming from Consumer Watchdog report, which looked into this in detail, and they said, Keystone XL will instead raise gasoline prices in the United States, hiking prices at the pump 20 to 40 cents per gallon in the Midwest, with no long-term economic benefit to the U.S. economy. Now, no long-term economic benefit, that does not mean it will not have an effect on the U.S. economy. It just turns out that it'll be a negative effect. And now I understand for some conservatives who think that we can just drill our way to some sort of blissful future. Why is that the case? Why would it be 20 to 40 cents more per gallon? It's not actually that difficult to figure out. Right now, in Canada, they're drilling in those tar sands and the shale and all that incredibly dirty oil that they're producing there. And then they can't sell it internationally because they can't pipe it down to Texas or wherever, somewhere on the Gulf Coast to distribute. They instead have to sell it locally, which is why the gas is relatively cheap now, especially in the Midwest. Instead, with the creation and construction and completion of the Keystone XL pipeline, they don't have to sell it to the U.S. at all. They can instead pipe it down to Texas, and then they can sell it to Venezuela or Canada or Antarctica or whatever freaking country they want. And that's why the price is going to be higher, because they can afford to charge more, because there will be more markets selling it, or bidding for it, I should say. And that is, when it comes to any sort of drilling in America, what is missed by conservatives pushing for endless offshore drilling, the Anwar and all that sort of thing. They miss that. They seem to think that if we just drill for more oil, it's ours. It'll just be distributed like free slushy day at 7-Eleven or something. No, we have an international oil market. That oil will then be put up for sale internationally. Perhaps long-term, selling dramatically more oil, especially from countries that don't currently, like OPEC or something like that, it could drop the prices by a cent or two because the supply will be higher. Although oil's history in terms of demand and supply has been incredibly shaky, and it's not like most other products. But in this case, it's not sold locally. It's not like if we drill it in Alabama, Alabama's prices go down. No. The companies, many of which are not U.S. companies anyway, will simply sell it abroad. And so once again, in addition to the fact that it will contribute to global warming, that it could lead to dramatic, terrible oil spills in America and Canada, all of those negative things that you've heard about in the debate over Keystone XL in the past couple of years, it could also end up costing you more money. If it does actually get created, how ironic will that be for the Midwest? Conservative states that have been pushing for drilling like this, like in the Gulf Coast, could actually end up spending more for oil. I guess that would be sort of poetic justice.